Well, for the Rural Radio Network, I'm Joe Gangwish in Lincoln at the Senate committee hearing on the waters of the U.S. proposed rule by the EPA, and it was put together by Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska. And Senator Fischer, first of all, thank you for bringing this to Nebraska.
Oh, you're welcome. I thought the hearing went really well, and I thank all the panelists and all the people that were here for it.
That was going to be my next question. You certainly got an earful today, so if there's one point that you can maybe take back with you to Washington, what do you think that would be?
Well, I think it's obvious that there's a lot of opposition to this proposed rule. And the one point that I thought was really telling was just the costs of regulations now and what the costs of this proposed rule is going to have on business and people in the future. You know, we had the county commissioner from Douglas County talk about a highway and the time that has been spent there and the amount of money that has been spent just going through the regulations now. And then we heard from a home builder out of Norfolk about the cost of regulations on a new home now. You know, buying your own home, that's the American dream. And right now, he said that 25% of the cost of a home is because of regulations. I mean, I can't even imagine what the costs are going to be in the future if we continue down this road of really just imposing more and more and more regulations on families in this country.
Well, that is a great point. We've heard about the concerns of agriculture, but you really encompassed a lot of different viewpoints, didn't you?
This just isn't an agriculture issue. Of course it affects our farmers, it affects our ranchers, people on the land, but as I said, it affects our counties and our cities, which means it affects every Nebraskan because you're paying taxes, and that's your tax money is going to be going to pay for all these new regulations. It's home builders, it's our natural resources district. So they're opposed to this rule as well, and it's our road builders. We just have such a large coalition of groups and organizations and people who are opposed to this rule because they understand really the negative consequences of it.
Well, Mr. Blankenau certainly had an interesting perspective as far as the law is concerned. Talk about that.
You know, it's the job of Congress to set laws, and I think this is just such an overreach, as he does, that you have an agency that's changing really the law that's in effect now with the Clean Water Act. They are changing it in such a drastic way when they just try to redefine what navigable is. You know, it's every piece of water here in the state of Nebraska, I think. You know, our water's interconnected, which Mr. Blankenau spoke about as well, and the effect that may have on groundwater. The people of Nebraska own the water in this state. We own the surface water and we own the groundwater. And to have the federal government step in and take control of our water, which then takes control of our land, our businesses, our people's lives in this state. It's just not what we want to see happen.
Well, Senator, we've got the hearing over with. You heard testimony. Where do we go from here?
Well, we're going to take this testimony back to the United States Senate. We will have it in record so that senators can use it in the future when we're hopefully going to be drafting some legislation to counter the actions by the EPA in this rulemaking process.
Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska with us here at the committee hearing she put together in Lincoln concerning the EPA's Waters of the U.S. rule. Reporting to you from the meeting, I'm Joe Gangwish.